an idea. Without something else, it just stays what it is, just an idea. Skill. Give it skill, and it can take shape. Scale. Give it scale, and it can reach its full potential. A place where skill meets scale. Welcome to Line Developer Day 2019.
Good morning, everyone. I am Euivin Park, CTO of Line. Welcome to Line Developer Day. I am very excited to stand here today to greet you once again. This is the 5th Line Developer Day. We have prepared a variety of content over the next 2 days for you to indulge yourselves in and take home. We hope you enjoy. Our vision at Line is called Life with Line, so that Line services can support users at different moments of the day. To achieve this goal, through the Line platform, we are trying to connect users with a variety of services and make it an even more intuitive experience using AI. Furthermore, we are internally developing all of the different services for our users. We currently have more than 70 services in operation. In just this year, we released more than 20 new services. Of these services, we have been focusing especially in the financial sector. There are different kinds of financial services that people need, including documents, official seals, but they tend to be very complicated and cumbersome. In order to make this simpler and more convenient, we are making preparations to provide them online. And we have released, for instance, Line Insurance, Line Pocket Money, a lending service, and Line Securities, and other services. In September, we launched a new cryptocurrency exchange called Bitmax, I'm sorry. And as was announced in Taiwan and Indonesia, we are working with different partners to prepare a banking service. Payment services is the foundation of all economic activities. We have been growing our Line Pay as well. There are approximately 37 million registered users in Japan, 50 million worldwide. A lot of different payment services are competing currently. Here are the characteristics of Line Pay. In Japan, there are a lot of users that continue to use Line Pay. And the retention rate, as we call it, is over 75%. Also, we are forming alliances with different partners in Japan and worldwide to lead the payment industry. We are also making efforts in other areas and launching services. We are taking on new challenges in new business areas. In the Middle East, we released a video chat service called Sway this year. In Vietnam, we are taking on a new challenge to succeed as a commerce service. But we are not just working on Line services. We are also making efforts to link users with different services that we are developing to evolve the Line platform for our developers. Of these, I'd like to introduce you Line Mini. Line Mini enables you to call up and use services online. It is a publishing platform. Let me show you a demo. Let's say a restaurant has a service that allows customers to make reservations and wants to publish it online. They can use Line Mini. Then Line users can search for that restaurant online. We are currently performing an A/B test, so this is new content. But in the Home tab, you can bookmark your favorite restaurants to access them more quickly. When you open the restaurant page, you can make a reservation. Then you can minimize that screen and maximize it if you want to go back to it. You can keep it, share it to your friends with a single tap. The most important feature is notifications. For instance, the confirmation for your reservation or notifications to tell you that it's time to go to the restaurant. These are all messages that can be sent to the user's Line app. This accelerates the process, and restaurants can increase the retention rate of their customers. This is the kind of way that we are hoping people can use Line Mini. The world we live in today is filled with different services and data. Therefore, we want to simplify the process to enable people to find the information they need. In other words, AI is always running in the background. Line is no exception. We are also evolving with Line. For instance, questions are answered using voice command, or credit cards are recognized to support different services. If you want to listen to a certain song, read a manga, watch a video, read the news, your preferences are analyzed so that the best recommendations are made. In all moments where Line services are being used, AI is running in the background. Let me talk more about AI technology. In order to make it evolve, we need an enormous volume of data and be able to handle it in order to optimize the service. Therefore, in terms of data handling, here are our two principles. First is privacy first. This could be quite obvious, but the security is very important, and privacy, protecting user privacy, must be prioritized for our users. Line's data is top class amongst all global services. Our data platform is enormous and very complicated. Therefore, one of our key principles is privacy first, so that all systems and processes are designed based on this principle. Our second principle is to avoid data silos. When services have their own independent system and hold their own data, this increases costs, and this makes it difficult to perform cross-machine learning across different data pools. Furthermore, because the data system design is different, the risks related to privacy protection and other elements could become more difficult. So, we want to eliminate data silos as much as possible. This is the key concept of our second principle. In order to achieve these two principles, we need a new platform. Unified self-service data platform is how we call it. Through this data platform, We perform data governance to protect user data and leverage data in the most efficient way for AI to grow. In this keynote speech, I will talk about AI, the supporting data platform infrastructure, and security and privacy. Let me introduce you the people in charge of these three topics, starting with AI. Please give a round of applause to Isago-san. We'll be talking about AI. Good morning, everyone. I am leading the Line Brain project. My name is Isago. As Euivin-san explained, Line Services is actively using AI to provide a better user experience. I would like to show you a demo to show you what I mean. Here is Smart Channel. Do you all know this feature? You may not be conscious that you're already using it, but most people should have already been exposed to this feature. At the very top of chat, this is the prime location of our app with the highest views. In this section, we are showing different advertisements as well as, let's say, weather reports and other important information relevant to users. Here is how we have implemented and are operating this feature. In Line Messenger, Line News, Line Manga, the logs and contents are all being managed in a centralized space. And we are quite proud of this mechanism that is very complicated. Of this enormous data pool, we are focusing on user logs and content, and we are extracting the content features to facilitate analysis. User features, which represents user behavior, contains 20 million data dimensions. So let's say you are following or friending different official accounts. This is the kind of information that is included in this data pool. Based on these features, we are making recommendations and other machine learning engines so that AI can be easily implemented into different services. Through these processes, we are producing the inferred attributes of users to display the best Smart Channel banner. And we are combining and consolidating different data in order to optimize this. Also, data scientists are part of a team. And so engineers and data professionals can work together to use their preferred tool to analyze different data. For data scientists, this is an optimal working environment, I believe. The recommendation mechanism is not the only thing that is supporting this mechanism. There is natural language processing and other technologies to provide a natural user experience. And from a privacy policy perspective, it is very difficult to provide this mechanism to external parties as is. But there are a few AI products that are being provided to third parties, and one of those is Line Brain. Line Brain is the main hub of Clova's, let's say, natural language processing and other features, including Japanese. It supports different Asian languages, and based on local cultures, there is end-to-end customization that allows us to differentiate ourselves from global giants in the US and China. Of these, I will focus on vision to introduce you a few functionalities of Line Brain. For some of you, you may have already experienced this. You may have checked in today using facial recognition. I hope that was a relatively positive user experience. I was a bit nervous because we were falling behind schedule. There were about 2,000 attendees who had registered in advance, and we matched them end-to-end using facial recognition. Because we have more machine learning data, of Asian users. We hope that the experience went smoothly. We used the facial recognition functionality using an app on this tablet, but this can also be used for, let's say, eKYC on a smartphone and other areas. We hope that this is representative of LINE's casual approach to using AI for different services, and we hope to continue to increase the precision of our functionality. A second point related to vision is OCR. OCR is a technology that has been around for a long time, but it is newly drawing attention with the development of AI. Our development and research team participated in ICDAR, an international conference, and their performance outdistanced their other teams, and we were very proud of that. AI contains algorithm and data. The reason why we were able to perform at such a high level is due to data augmentation. And that resulted in a high precision of OCR. Handwriting recognition is in high demand, and in order to increase the precision, we need a large volume of handwritten data. In relation to this, I'd like to introduce you a story about Tamura-san, a university student who became famous recently.
So we're living in 2019, and we have a new Impera era. There are some college courses that still require students to submit reports handwritten. As a spiteful remark, Mr. Tamura put together parts and created a plotter to generate a report that seems to be handwritten, and he has been received quite attention from the media for this. So what he did was he created handwritten fonts manually for all characters that appear in the report. However, as you know, Japanese has a few thousand characters, including hiragana, katakana, and Chinese characters. And creating all of these by hand will take a lot of time, effort, and cost. So, if we provided our technology to generate handwritten fonts, so we decided to do an experiment with him, and with Mr. Tamura's help, we had him write and create AI learning templates to automatically generate a font. Can you tell which one was automatically generated? So the left side is the original handwriting, the right is the generated font. I think the generated font truly reflects the characteristics of the original writer. So this font-generated technology is an application of GAN, Generative Adversarial Network. So as I tried it as well, once you let the AI learn approximately 500 written characters under a specified format, it generates your exclusive font that reflects the characteristics of your handwriting. So, as I am talking, I have a demo set up here. So I would like to take this opportunity to use Tamura-san's plotter that he created for about 7,000 yen and try to output his font. So it's starting to move now. I hope the camera is catching this as well. The plotter is printing out the handwriting. So usually pen plotters normally require stroke fonts that tells the correct order of writing the characters, and we also try to automatically generate that as well. So Mr. Tamura is here, who is the creator of this plotter. So I would like to present this font to Mr. Tamura as a gift today, so in hopes that he will be freed from the handwriting hell. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your college life. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you very much for your cooperation, Mr. Tamura. This font generating tool applying GAN is impressive indeed. And we will like what is important that the learning data is enhanced The learning data to enhance AI precision was automatically generated instead of relying on manual input. Today, we have explained this from an OCR point of view, but we have also many ways to increase the AI precision, and we have conducted many tests to make sure that our AI precision will continue to enhance and evolve. Next, I would like to explain our progress on natural language processing that is probably more compatible to the LINE platform, supporting your everyday communication. So 3 years ago, after we officially announced Messaging API at LINE Developer Day 2016 Keynote address, many third-party developers have leveraged this technology to develop many bots. The following year, at LINE Dev Day 2017, we introduced natural language processing and explained the level of this technology at LINE. This year, at LINE Conference in June, we did a live demo of Project Duet. So this was a prototype of prototype. It was a very early prototype with a very intense live demo at the LINE conference. So what Project Duet is AI dedicated for restaurant reservation. So voice recognition appropriately processes the voices that come through phone lines, and voice synthesis offers natural user experience. And conversation generation technology persistently asks questions until the AI has enough information to complete the reservation. So we believe that research shouldn't be conducted for the research's sake. We believe in creating natural AI experience that is actually useful for the society. So even for any simple feature, it should be something that truly benefits the user. And starting today, November 20th, so Ore no Guriru Otemaji branch will begin AI automated reservation on a limited basis. And with the launch of this service, we have changed the product name to LINE AI Call. Please note that this is still an experimental phase and we are enhancing the performance. We will begin accepting calls only from landline phones at this moment and not mobile phones. If you're interested in speaking with an AI, you can call this restaurant. But be careful because this is no longer a demo environment. Your call will actually take reservations. If you do make a reservation, please make sure you actually visit the place and enjoy a nice meal. So our voice recognition technology that we have refined through our smart speaker Clova and AI Call can be applied not only to AI Call, but to other various areas in our lifestyle. So for instance, this is a video analysis tool still under development. So as an experiment, I had it read last year's LINE Dev Day opening session. So this recognizes the speaker in the video and the words that he speaks, and gives us a summary of who said what, when. So as I said, we announced the bot in 2016, Clova in 2017. So what did we present in 2018? According to this, Mr. Nasu is talking about blockchain. Voice recognition adds subtitles. However, with the current technology, precision is still a challenge. For instance, link chain is subtitled as popular place. But this technology will be useful to add value to video contents for like LINE Live and be applied for monitoring operations. Maybe in our next LINE Dev Day, we may be able to provide subtitles and AI translations for all sessions. This is another area that we should challenge ourselves, and we hope you are excited for this. So how did you enjoy my presentation? So we've seen facial recognition, OCR handwritten font generators, data augmentation technologies, telephone auto response video analysis, These are all AI technologies that I have introduced today.
そして私のパートの冒頭でお話しした
So as I
LINE における
spoke
全
in
社
the
横断での
beginning,
データ解析やマシンラーニングの仕組みを含め LINE の AI に関する取り
on
組み
data
の全
analysis
体像
and
を
project
把
on
握して
machine
いただけ
learning,
た
I
の
hope
で
you
は
were
ないか
able
と
to
いうふうに
grasp the
思い
big
ます
picture of lines initiatives towards
大量の
AI
データを集
technology.
めてプライバシーを
It
考慮
is
して
challenging to
適
collect
切に管
large
理した上
volumes
で
of data and managing them
AI が
while
習慣
taking
の状態にす
privacy
るのは
into
大変なことなのですが
consideration
事業
and
に対
allow
する
AI
こ
to
とで
learn in this
LINE の
environment.
サービスの改
But
善
we
や
have tackled this
皆様
face
の
on
役に
in
立
hopes to
つ
bring AI
AI の
technologies that
提供
truly
につなげてい
benefit
きた
the
いと考え
society.
ています。そして私のパートの最後に
To
本
finish
日
my
会
session,
場でご参加いただいた
I
皆
have a
様
small
にプレ
gift
ゼン
for
トが
all
ご
of
ざい
you
ま
who
す。
joined us today.
途中でご紹介した AI OCR の
The AI OCR
ご来場された
API,
皆様に限
we
り
are delighted to offer you.
先行提供をさせていただきたいと思います。
This is available for a limited time and can only be used for development purposes. To realize this environment, our partner, NVIDIA, has provided us with their latest GPU T4. Please give a big round of applause for NVIDIA. Access key and information on how to use this API will be available later on. This API supports Japanese, English, and Korean. So for those of you from Thailand, Indonesia, and other countries, we apologize for the inconvenience. We encourage you to use AI OCR in your apps and services and experience the AI technology currently in development by LINE. This concludes my AI section. Now I'd like to hand the stage to Yoshihiro Saigusa to speak about data platform and infrastructure that supports the AI user experience. Mr. Saigusa. Hello, everyone. I am Yoshihiro Saigusa, the engineering manager of the infrastructure team. I would like to introduce to you our data platform and our infrastructure. Let me start with data platform. LINE is striving for a self-service data platform in order to leverage data more efficiently. Data is used in many different forms. For instance, product managers want the results of their A/B tests as soon as possible. Marketers want to measure effectiveness of their campaigns promptly. Infrastructure engineers seek to find traces of system issues from massive volumes of metrics. The demand is quite diverse. Allowing these people to launch a program and get the data they want fast and on their own. This is what we call a self-service data platform. So let me put LINE's data platform in numbers for you per day. The number of generated records exceed 1 trillion. That is 1 trillion a day. That translates to approximately 390 terabytes. Number of executed analytic jobs exceed 100,000 jobs. So all of these immense data that is accumulated every day, we leverage that to provide useful information for you, the users, and provide optimal user experience. To bring value to our users without delay, there are 3 issues that need to be resolved. First is accessibility. As our CTO Euivin Park mentioned, one of our major challenges was data silo. LINE has multiple data platforms to run our services, and data is disconnected from each other. It was very time-consuming to analyze data that spans across multiple services. To resolve this, we needed to consolidate our data platform. However, by doing so, we run into another problem. How can we respond to various analytical needs in one environment? In short, we needed to achieve multi-tenancy. And our third challenge. So generally, it is said that data scientists spend 80% of their time organizing and sorting data. And most data scientists do not like this task. I think this goes for you too. No one wants to waste time on tasks that is not your core responsibility. So Line is also under the same situation. We wanted to find a way to have our data scientists focus on tasks that brings value to Line's users. So we were faced with many challenges in order to resolve these issues. Integrating data platform is easy if we can completely stop the system and migrate the platform. However, at Line, we already have a few integral platforms that cannot be stopped. So as such, we challenge ourselves to integrate the platform online without stopping the system. The details of this project will be explained in today's session that starts at 4:20 p.m. Please join us if you're interested. So for multi-tenancy, how can we provide analytical tools on demand for dedicated environments that do not take multi-tenancy into consideration? Furthermore, the challenge is how to scale this so that we can respond to the internal requests of more than 2,000 Line employees. So finally, in terms of data quality, so instead of using up the data scientist's time, we have automated the overall process of data validation and storing results as metadata. The challenge of this is because we have immense and extensive data volume, but not only data volume, there is also diverse data types, which makes it even difficult for a straightforward automation. Taking all of these points into consideration, we are in progress of developing a Line's self-service data platform. With this, the science team can effectively collect data and analyze them across multiple services. By consolidating or integrating the platform, we are also able to strengthen data governance. This benefits not only Line developers, but allows us to offer a safer and better user experience for you and our users as well. Now, next, I will introduce Line's overall infrastructure, including the data platform I just explained. Our goal is fast lifecycle infrastructure to speed up the life cycle of our infrastructure, and this is our objective. Let me first explain the characteristics of Line's infrastructure. Number one is its immense scale. More than 5 billion messages are sent per day on this infrastructure. Network traffic exceeds 1 terabyte per second. Line is also used widely outside of Japan. So not only domestically, we have infrastructure hubs in key areas in Asia, North America, and Europe. So our global network connects all of these infra hubs. The number of physical servers in these infrastructure hubs add up to 40,000 units. So since numbers are hard to imagine, I tried to come up with an easier analogy. So if you stack up these servers one by one, how tall do you think they will be? The tallest structure in Japan is the Tokyo Skytree, which is 634 meters. If you stack up all Line server, it will be 3.5 times that of Tokyo Skytree, approximately 2,200 meters. So Line's infrastructure is equivalent to 3.5 Tokyo Skytrees. So just remember this when you leave here today. Next year, we'll aim for 4 Skytrees. So at this scale, it is impossible to operate manually. So our second characteristic of our infrastructure is that we have our own private cloud. Line has built a dedicated private cloud and runs that it is automated in terms of operations. The private cloud is called Verda and is provided to the 2,200 engineers and developers at Line. The private cloud itself is developed by approximately 60 infrastructure engineers. So there are choices for public cloud as well. Why do we invest immense development costs to go for a private cloud? I'm sure you're curious as well. The number one reason for choosing private cloud is our initiative to solve issues. We are a platformer and strongly believe in our responsibility to solve every problem. So we join efforts with our product teams to create superb products. We work together with developers to resolve technical issues that developers face. And we cannot leave this in other people's hands. So it is important to take initiative in solving our own issues, and to make this easier and effective, we chose to build our own private cloud. So Line also has a policy to choose open technology, and this also shows in Verda as well. Verda is based on OpenStack, which, as you know, is fully leveraged on open source technology. And we have focused our efforts heavily in automating the operation of our private cloud. However, automation itself is insufficient. One of our long list challenges we had was the gap in infrastructure lifecycle and development lifecycle. Infrastructure lifecycle can span from a few months to a few years. It has a pretty long lifecycle. On the other hand, the development lifecycle is getting increasingly shorter, with a few weeks or even a few days. In order to close this gap, we focused on implementing software for core infrastructure functions. And this also leads to our initial idea of realizing fast lifecycle infrastructure. So for hardware elements such as servers and networks, our strategy was to implement software so that we can focus on providing high performance, highly scalable, and highly maintainable infrastructure. So all infrastructure features will be deployed as software. Like most developers, this will be founded based on a software. And this allows us to shorten the cycle of reflecting developers' feedback. So let me share an episode to clarify this example. So the dev team sent a feature request for a load balancer that was implemented as a software. So this has already been deployed on our product environment. And with this feature request, we developed this feature and rolled it out in September of this year. However, they found some bugs as they used it. If this were a hardware-based load balancer, it would be difficult for us to find the root cause on our own. So we would normally start by contacting the vendor and have them analyze the cause. However, at Line, since we implement our own software, we can pinpoint the root cause on our own.
何が原因かということを見つけることができるようになりました。で、それだけではなくて、
Furthermore,
ハードウェアに比べて
compared to hardware, the CI and CD iteration cycle is much faster.
この時はですね、
So in this case, we received feedback from the developers, found the root cause, fixed the problem, tested it, and deployed it onto production environment within a few hours. So this is an example of how software approach can speed up this cycle. The infrastructure team takes on various efforts to bring product value to the users without delay. And we keep in sync with the dev teams to provide continuous services at a shorter cycle. So this concludes my part. However, we do have a few sessions later this afternoon that goes into data platform and infrastructure. Please come and visit us if you're interested. Next, I will turn the mic over to Naohisa Ichihara to introduce security-related efforts at LINE. Please help me to welcome Mr. Ichihara.
Hi everyone, I am Ichihara from Cybersecurity Department. In my session, I would like to talk about the security and privacy initiatives at LINE. Well, for us, LINE, users is most important. So it sounds, don't be surprised. In other words, we are equally thinking very important. Users' privacy are very, very important to us, and we should take that approach. So we are calling this approach as privacy first. So today, in my part, I would like to explain the initiatives related to privacy first and security. So they are three parts: data governance, technology, and transparency. First, data governance. In order to provide good services using data in the future, but also in order to continuously gain trust and a sense of safety from the users for our services, data governance is key. And actually, this is also very important for the platformers. This is a big responsibility for platformers. We are proactively using data. At the same time, we are complying with laws and regulations and paying the utmost attention to privacy. For such data governance, not only data analysts or engineers or the developers, but also the privacy or the legal professions are joining to a big, strong team to ensure robust governance structure. Well, that's a structure we are controlling, supervising how the company uses data. I would like to give you some more specific stories. Build on this such strong data governance. At LINE, if you'd like to start a new service using the data, then the team of such experts will be involved into planning and designing by their reviews and consultation. This is a mandatory process. This is a kind of fundamentals for the LINE services. In other words, this is so-called privacy by design. For example, at LINE Developer Day 2019, we used the facial recognition gate system. If you have already used that, probably you had already registered your face, or in other words, your facial data to the server. But in order to provide such service, for example, how we can acquire data, what kind of content we receive, how to use that data, the user interface, where to store it, and when to delete such data, and all these actions will be complying with the term of use, privacy policies, or the other regulations. We have to consider all of them. And actually, This is very difficult for engineers only to make judgments. Therefore, as I mentioned, we have a dedicated team in charge of the privacy or the legal professions. They will be checking and reviewing very precisely and providing the consultation to these service owners. By the way, your facial information that restored are surely secured in the servers in Japan, and they will be deleted after this event. So please be assured. This demonstrates privacy by design that shows how LINE is securely protecting user data and privacy. Next, I'm going to talk about specific technology for security. First topic, LINE account hijack. Probably you have heard this keyword. I have a question to you. Have you ever heard that you or yourself or your friends experienced LINE account hijack? Or have you ever received a request from LINE friends to purchase the gift card at a convenience store? Please raise your hand if you have that kind of experience. Oh, so many of you. Probably you are lucky if you did not raise your hands, because there are so many account hijacking of your account or your friend's account. I'm not so lucky person, therefore I've received these requests twice. In reality, we had implemented two-factor authentication from early phase and also continued to improve the specs. But of course, the abusers or deceivers are very sophisticated. You are very gentle users, very kind. So probably if you receive the request from your friends, then probably you could tell your passcode. Then your account will be hijacked. If you're a very kind person, your account tends to be hijacked. But I'm not such kind person, therefore my account never be hacked. But who should be blamed? Of course, hijackers. Because you are innocent, gentle users, you were just deceived by them. But of course, we cannot ignore such situation. We cannot overlook them. Therefore, we started full-fledgedly and we put great efforts to eradicate such LINE account hijacks. First, we checked and analyzed the patterns of the account hijackers using machine learning by implementing the various detection and preliminary rules. But of course, they were so sophisticated, so they tried to bypass our rules and to introduce new technology to try to deceive new users, to hijack their accounts. This battle lasted approximately for 2 years. But in 2018, so last year, there were no reports of the victimized as account hijack. Zero. Thank you. I just hoped you could give us a great applause. But of course, attacker will be using new technology, so that we have to stay on guard. And this kind of battle will continue further. So we are using machine learning for security issues. I would like to give you another example. Online chat room or the timeline, there are so many LINE spams. Not the spam mails, but LINE spams. To address this, yes, we are also using the machine learning. Initially, for example, if you receive some data, we are using such data for detection. Initially, yes, we were able to detect any spams, but there are so many problems we just faced. The spammers who send the spams, they are of course human beings. If we take various countermeasures, they are trying to use to bypass us because they could find that their accounts are blocked. So they use a new way, then we are always changing the filtering rules that requires lots of time and human resources. Our approach was, we've checked the patterns of the spammers. Based on that, we have created new algorithm that automatically reduce the filtering rules. So that means even the time goes by, that we are checking the parameters or the patterns of the spammers. By taking that automated approach, we were able to drastically reduce the cost for the manual automations. So now we are using both manual and automated renewal of the processes, and that is greatly contributing to the enhanced precision of the spam detection, and we have successfully seen the decreased number of the line spams. So machine learning is a great contributor to this. Give you another example of the machine learning. LinePay or LinePort, they are having lots of advertisements. Probably you have seen them. So point back or the reward back campaigns. Abusers try to use this campaign for their abusing purpose. Of course, cyber attackers try to get some financial profits. So these campaigns tend to be victimized. What we have done is we've checked the account balance of users or the how user uses points. So these transaction data, we've analyzed these transaction data from the various angles using machine learning and performing the graph analysis. By doing that, we could pick up some suspicious transaction among all transactions. For example, some user created fake accounts and get lots of points in the wrong way and put everything to the one account to withdraw the money by exchanging such points. Or some multiple users would be engaging some suspicious transaction to send the account of their boss. So this is a kind of the organizational crime. Or as you see, the data dispersed and finally go to the cash. So it translated to another value. This could be the money laundering of the case of a financial crime. We are now able to detect such suspicious transaction. Another example for the machine learning. Recently, of course, you know, the fake news has been spread, and that's a very big social issue. Even national politics or election could be impacted by the fake news. In reality, last year in Taiwan, a piece of the fake news leads to a big scandal or the big social issue. To address this problem, LINE started a new service for the LINE Taiwanese users called Digital Accountability Program, which allows users to find whether that information is true or fake news. This service is a kind of a joint partner initiative with the Taiwanese government and four fact-check service providers. For this service, yes, the LINE's original machine learning system is now used. That uses the past news as well as the information and the learning data for the clustering analysis to find out whether that information is true or fake. As this demonstrates, LINE has been proactively leveraging the capability of machine learning to solve the various social issues. Next topic, password. There are so many problems related to password. You may forget that, or that it's very hard to type using the smartphone. You have to switch in various passwords for pages. So there are so many problems related to password. There are various the initiatives to eliminate that. Probably you would use the face or the fingerprint authentication. They are very comfy, I believe. So biometrics authentication is beneficial. And there is a FIDO technology which supports the biometrics and also very safe authentication protocol. And LINE launched the iOS LinePay app in this autumn, implementing the FIDO 2 protocol. This is the first mobile payment apps using the FIDO 2 all over the world. This secures, of course, the safety, but also combining the convenience of the biometrics so that we can have a good balance between security and good user experience. We would like to extend these initiatives. So third, the transparency. In other words, we do not hide anything. So showing what we are doing to the public, sometimes we will be receiving the negative reaction, but it's good for the improvement. This mindset is very important to gain user trust and to survive as a strong company. I would like to give you specific initiatives. LINE has been publishing transparency reports twice a year. This explains how we are presenting the data to the law enforcement agency upon their request, and also the progress of the encryption technology in the LINE platform. Yes, we are storing data from users. Therefore, it's very, very important to disclose what we are doing and also maintain high transparency. Yes, this is a good example of the transparency and the privacy-first initiative. Another use case is the LINE has been holding Security Summit in the spring and the Privacy Summit in the autumn in Japan. So we are having lots of topics, for example, the digital identity, biometrics authentication in privacy, AI scoring, and human rights issues, digital fake technology. So there are lots of topics that we are inviting the experts not only from Japan but also all over the world. Within this security summit, of course, we are also explaining our security initiative or privacy initiatives with very deep discussions. This is also one of the good examples to enhance our transparency. Since 2016, we have been carrying out a bug bounty program, awarding bounty to the bug reporters. And this month, since the 15th of November, we migrated our platform to the Hacker global platform. By doing this, we will be able to attract attention from global top hackers who will contribute to find the bugs in our platform. And basically, these bug reports would be published. This is another good example of how we try to be transparent. In my part, I have explained the various initiatives related to the security and the privacy. How do you think about this? We have taken the privacy-first concept and approach. Based on that, we would like to make the much safer and more delightful future-oriented services together with you. This is all of my part. Thank you. So, Euivin-san, please come back to the stage. Now, for IT services, there are no boundaries by the country, the national geography, or even by platforms. From Silicon Valley, the tech giant has been leading the global platforms. The gap between them and other players has been widening, but they can beat us. LINE started from Asia, and we are committed to improve and develop further as AI tech company from Asia. And we are also very happy to share our experience, knowledge, technology with engineers to make this world more exciting. So this year, LINE Dev Day is a 2-day event with the various informative sessions. I hope you will be enjoying this event. Thank you.